What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Across the Pond, where two American boys tell you the worldwide world of soccer/football, whatever you prefer to call it. I'm Richard Dio.
I'm Jacob Wood.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again. Review of MatchDay 2 of the English Premier League. Review of 2 games for Serie A, maybe a couple other games, depending on whatever you want to do. I don't care.
I can talk very briefly about a couple other Serie A games.
Okay. I watched a couple other too, but it doesn't really matter. But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to you if you are from iTunes or SoundCloud, or most specifically iTunes, because now we're on iTunes. High five. Woo! Soon to be on Google Play. That one's going to be sorted soon. But regardless, this episode of Across the Pond, we are going to cover Matchday 2, like I said, of the English Premier League. We're going to preview next week's English Premier League. And then we are going to talk about a quotation from a certain president in a certain league on is it Bavarian Peninsula?
No. It's the
Iberian
Peninsula.
Peninsula. I was not that far.
Well, I mean, the
Off
Bavarian went from fantasy land to real life. So.
I've been pronouncing it. But yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First game. I don't have that as my first game on my list, but
I was okay. Fine, whatever. What's your first game?
First game on the list of Matchday 2 of the English Premier League. We had Newcastle versus Cardiff City, both ending up in a draw. Possession to Newcastle's at 51. Cardiff with 49% possession, and then 12 shots with 1 on target for Newcastle, with 12 and 6 on target for Cardiff, which is actually surprising.
Yeah, it was.
The big note of this game, it was the red card for Isaac Hayden. He had it at the 66th minute. One thing to note, also Craig Paulson, the same guy that gave the red card to Phil Jagielka last week.
Dishing him out left and right.
So he's two.
Didn't
one
question. What was his name again? Sorry,
Craig Paulson.
Craig Paulson, sir. How did you send off Phil Jagielka last week and not send off Kennedy early on in this game when he just straight kicked the dude right in the middle of the field, 2 feet in front of him?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's blind.
What?
My quick notes. Martin Dubravka. That's the goalie name for Newcastle.
Yep.
Very much, I think he made 0 saves, but I think
he probably had to make 1 considering they had 1 shot on target.
Wait, Cardiff had, I think I mixed that up. The Cardiff had 1 shot on target, right?
Yeah.
So I mixed that set up. My bad. Regardless. Yeah, so they had the one. No, it was a defender that blocked that shot. So it wasn't him.
Oh, cleared off the line.
So yeah, he cleared it off. So that's why. That was kind of funny. I think John Joe Shelby had that great. He had a great little ball in to, I think it was Kennedy maybe, or Joselu. These are one of those two. He had a great ball. I loved myself some John Joe Shelby. Obviously Kennedy should have been sent off. We have already said
100%.
And then also the penalty. Terrible
Justice
penalty.
served because it was Kennedy that took that penalty.
Yes, and then that was a terrible penalty.
One of the worst penalties I've seen in a long time. Yeah.
But I think Newcastle should have won this game, obviously, with the penalty. I don't know why he's taking it. I think John Joe Shelby should have took that, or someone more capable.
I would say John Joe Shelby or Matt Ritchie would have been probably my two.
So not too much to take away from that game. Like I said, I think it was obviously even in possession, but I think Cardiff was absorbing a lot more, and Newcastle was a little bit more efficient on the shots. But it just nothing went through. That was a problem.
The more I see of Cardiff, the more it's just like, yep, they're done.
Yeah,
it's just what it feels like. This is an inevitable outcome for them. It kind of feels like, because these are the type of games that they need to try. I mean, they got a point. Yeah. But I mean, they got to beat all the mid to bottom teams, as many of them as they can, and 1 shot on target over the course of 90 minutes against a relatively weak Newcastle side.
Well, this Newcastle side it's a terrible start to the campaign. First off, so whatever is going to be said, regardless, I still think Cardiff's the signings they made have not. I don't think they're not going to stand the test of time.
Yeah. So, but Newcastle should have got the 3 points. Literally, let anyone else take that penalty. Let DeAndre Yedlin pop out there on crutches and take that penalty. He probably would have scored. So they're going to be, they think maybe themselves a little unlucky, but
I think they'll be able to bounce back. Rafa Benitez got to organize that. Right.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Moving on. West Ham United versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth were the victors in this game. 2-1.
Manuel Pellegrini, what are you doing?
West Ham did take the lead with Arnautovic taking a penalty in the 33rd minute. And then Callum Wilson getting a goal in the 60th, and then Steve Cook in the 66th. West Ham did have possession, though. It was 61% over 39, with 11 shots and 5 on target for them, and then with Bournemouth with 12 with 5 on target for them. It was a bit of a change from last week because they started Chicharito and Arnautovic up top, which was different. Different formation with different shape. But I think still the tackle on Chicharito was a little sloppy. I forgot who took or who slid in for that. It was either Cooks or the guy next to him or something like that. I don't remember who tackled him. That was a pretty sloppy tackle. Just like Chicharito is a really good actor as well.
Yeah.
But regardless, you shouldn't go in like that. Callum Wilson's goal was pretty lit.
It was. Twas lit.
My words to describe it was majestic.
Yeah. It was nice.
Very nice goal, beating 3 defenders and the keeper. Similar to what the next goal or one of the goals that we're going to talk about later on.
I know what you're
but also, like, a great team goal was the last goal with a set piece to Stephen Cook. I forgot who centered that ball in.
I almost said Arter, but he's gone.
I think it was
Fraser.
There you go.
Fraser,
Yeah. But great win for Bournemouth. They're looking good so far this year. I think they're a side that's not going to be – it's going to take advantage of the smaller games. I'm not saying like West Ham's – I think West Ham needs time.
West Ham looking like a smaller game at the moment.
But I think for the smaller teams and the mid-table teams, they're going to take advantage of those games. It's just the big games. I think they're going to look terrible probably. But
West Ham
great starts to the campaign.
Are already running out of time to get their act together. They have Arsenal next week. Obviously, Arsenal been leaking goals recently, but
we'll talk about that later.
This will be Arsenal's first chance, but I don't understand what West Ham is doing. I'm going to ride this West Ham train all the way into the ground.
Obviously, they possess the ball. They got to...
Yeah, but they're not doing anything with the bad possession.
That's the first...
Because they missed all of their decent chances against Arsenal in the first week and basically only generated the penalty this week against Bournemouth, which is a team that they're heavily outspending and should... I think they should be able to beat Bournemouth.
Oh, definitely should. Yeah.
So
quality.
Really frustrating to watch them.
Moving on to the next game on the list, we got Tottenham versus Fulham. Tottenham won 3-1. Tottenham scored in the 43rd minute to break the brace with Lucas Moura scoring. But then Fulham equalized with Alexander Mitrovic in the 52nd minute. Then Tottenham had a great free kick from Kieran Trippier. In the 74th, and then the king of Tottenham Spurs, Harry Kane, breaking that 15-game streak of August games, scoring and going, without a goal in the 77th minute, breaking that goal streak down. But Tottenham had 60% of the possession with 40 to Fulham. Tottenham also had 25 shots with 11 on target, and then Fulham only had 10 with 3 on target. Different shape for Tottenham as well. They ran a 3-4-2-1. I think a formation that they're going to run against the smaller teams just to break them down a lot easier. That's what City did this past week as well. Tessa Young played on the right for Fulham, which is weird because for me, I thought he played on the left, but he played on the right.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Then also Lucas Moura missed a goal in the beginning of the game. It was kind of somewhat of an easy header. It's kind of
100% sure score, especially compared to his goal. The first goal for Spurs was a great finish and off the post, like curling shot on his left. But that compared to the sitter that he missed in like the 6th or 7th minute, he definitely needs to be putting those away. And those are the kinds of chances. We'll talk about one of the bigger games this weekend in a little bit. Those are the kind of chances that you need to put away regularly.
I think Lloris had that save on Mitrovic, like where he was like on his knees, trying to get that goal. And then, it was Mitrovic, and then Mitrovic scored like on his knee. And
he
kept on playing with that ball.
Like jumped for the ball, missed, and fell to the ground.
And then the ball happened to just land.
Sessegnon completely Sessegnon had a tap in of his own, completely botched it, but it went right to Mitrovic, and he pushed himself up off the ground and headed the ball in the back of the net. But like Sessegnon 100% should have scored that as well.
Yeah. But a great effort though for Winchevich staying with the play.
Yeah, for sure.
Trippier with a sublime. Oh my God, that free kick was
Perfect,
beautiful,
not savable.
Yeah. And then a great run from Lamela to give Harry Kane his goal for the week.
And a good finish into the bottom right corner.
Mm-hmm. Tottenham looking like Tottenham. My Manchester United Red Devils.
We'll find out next week what Tottenham looked like.
Yeah. Moving on. Everton versus Southampton. Everton winning 2-1. Breaking the goal difference in the 15 minutes with Theo Walcott. And then Richarlison adding another one in the 31st. With Danny Ings getting his first goal at Southampton in the 54th. I was very happy that he scored that goal, even though he should have had another one before.
Yeah, he should have.
Possession-wise, Everton had 58% of his all to Southampton's 42%, with 13 shots with 7 on target for Everton, and then 15 with 4 on target for Southampton. Everton did score 2 goals off of set pieces, which is interesting. I think even last week, besides the second Richarlison, like both the 2 goals they scored last week were set pieces. So set piece kings right now at the moment. And then Danny Ings hitting the crossbar. No, wait. Yeah, he hit the crossbar in that the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I pinned my notes. I hit crossbar for some reason. Oh, and then also Theo Walcott whiffed on another goal as well.
Yes, he did.
So,
showing why he's no longer there. So.
I think one thing for Southampton in this game, I think their marking should have been a lot better. Obviously, set pieces, and then also the factor of just taking advantage of that.
I think they're really just missing Virgil van Dijk, and that's the type of person that makes the difference in set pieces.
I think they ran a 4-man back in this game as well instead of the 3-man they did last week. No, they didn't. Yeah,
4-4-2.
Yeah, so interesting.
With Hoyt and Stevens in the middle, McCarthy in goal. So yeah, it was. I think not at all an unexpected result. I think Everton were the better team and deserved the 3 points. There were definitely a couple shaky moments defensively for both teams throughout the game that'll need to be sorted out. But yeah, Everton keep rolling. Everton 6 points. 6 points, 4 goals so far in 2 games, so good on them.
Yeah, especially against these lower end teams, they need to be able to score those points to keep it on the top 6 if they want to.
Yeah.
Moving on, Leicester versus Wolves. Leicester won 2-0. I did have Wolves in this game, but didn't pan out right. Matthew Doherty. Doherty? Is it Doherty?
Mm.
That's how they say that?
I mean, that's how we say that too.
Really? Okay, I don't know. I don't know the read. He scored an own goal, the first own goal of the Premier League in the 29th minute, which is to note out of that.
Honestly, that header, top 3 finish this weekend. That header was just, it took at least one to, like, someone nicked the ball, right, like the person in front of him or whatever. But man, did he have that ball just straight in the top corner. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do,
that ball.
But it was a perfect header, right square into the top corner.
And then James Maddison with his first goal for Leicester City, scoring it in the 45th minute.
Yeah, it was a good enough shot. The goalkeeper should have done better, I think.
Possession-wise, the Leicester had the ball 43% to Wolves' 57%. Shots 6 for Leicester with 2 on target. 2 goals they had. And then 11 with 3 on target for Wolves. Vardy did get sent off in the 66th minute in this game. But regardless, I thought the beginning for Wolves was very active, very much like what we're going to see a lot from Wolves.
Yeah, I think Wolves were
mid-table to lower-end teams.
Yeah, I think Wolves were really unlucky. Just kind of throughout the game, I think they were the better team. They were the more creative of the two, the more energetic of the two. So far, it's been really entertaining watching them.
I think it's once they start to play less like they're not playing. Once they don't play like a Leicester City or Everton, once they play like a Huddersfield or Brighton, you'll really see how. I think you'll see them score as many as some of the bigger teams will, because they're taking the risk.
Yeah.
But regardless, Madison's goal was a deflection, so that kind of was unfortunate, I guess. For the goal.
Yeah, that's right. I must have been thinking of another one when I said the goalkeeper should have done better. I apologize to the.
And Vardy's challenge was a schoolboy challenge. It was like, what do you? What?
Yeah, he slid got the ball, I think, but just completely annihilated the guy. And,
same with today with there was a challenge today that we saw. It was Van Aanholt got a red card.
Oh,
not a red card.
No, that was last man.
Yeah. Moving on, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea won this game barely, 3-2. Pedro getting the first goal in the 9th minute with Morata 11 minutes later in the 20th minute. Mkhitaryan then scoring in the 37th, and then Iwobi scoring in the 41st, and then Alonso getting the game winner in the 81st minute. Chelsea had 61% in the possession with 38 to Arsenal. 24 shots for Chelsea with 11 on target with 15 with 6 on target for Arsenal. Basically, a decently good shootout game right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I call this game Whiff City, if you like to call it.
Yeah.
Iwobi missed one. Mkhitaryan missed one. Bame missed two. Just, a cluster of. I mean, Arsenal could have very much won this game, but then very much could have went the other way as well. Regardless, I mean, like the way it went. I did like Mkhitaryan's first goal.
Oh yeah, nice finish.
Nice
bottom
finish.
Left corner. First time bottom left corner.
Yeah, Bame playing sloppy. I think Chelsea had a decently hard time defending crosses, is what I'm noticing as well. But I think both teams really got lucky in this game, regardless of the result.
Yeah, I don't think it was an entertaining game for neutrals. Just a lot of action on both ends constantly, basically because there was no defense. On the Arsenal side, obviously they were very wasteful. They could have easily put 6 or 7 on Chelsea if they'd have taken all. They missed basically 3 of the exact same chance of switching the ball out wide right, cross, cutting the cross back to the penalty spot and then over the crossbar. They missed that exact chance 3 times. So that's going to be concerning for them. I don't know what Unai Emery is doing. He basically, I think he put out the same side that lost to City.
No, Monreal is a change, and then
because he still had Guendouzi and Xhaka and Ozil on the right.
Iwobi started up top instead of
Iwobi was
Ramsey.
out. Yeah,
and
okay.
he put Ozil in the middle with Mkhitaryan on the right.
So Guendouzi seems like he's going to be a good player, but especially alongside Xhaka, there is no cover for the back four in that team. You cannot trust Mesut Ozil to come back. Mkhitaryan was beaten on the right for the Morata goal. Oh, no, sorry, for the Pedro goal.
Well, I think right now for Mesut Ozil, I think he has 0 chances created for the first 2 games.
He's a passenger right now in that team. So that's going to be a concern. I just don't know. I feel like they have a new manager, but it's the same exact Arsenal. I don't understand this team selection.
Yeah, the team selection, but I think they did a little look a little bit better with the changes. I liked Iwobi out wide, added pace and added just making runs. I think Torreira needs to start over Xhaka. I think. Yeah, just to add cover. It seems like once he got into the game, they not started to take control, but they were able to keep shape and then be able to protect the back line a little bit more. Just the Alonso goal was unfortunate because Eden Hazard created that chance.
Yeah, on the Chelsea side, very lucky not to be 4 or 5 goals in on going into halftime. I think Pedro and Willian are really going to benefit from Sarri's new system, and that's shown. So Pedro with 2 goals so far already. It was a good finish from Morata, that 1-on-1 with Mustafi, and then beating Petacek. I'm worried. Goalkeeper, I understand that Kepa's young still, but I couldn't help but think for both of the Arsenal goals that Thibaut Courtois would have saved both of those, especially the first one, the Mkhitaryan one. And then being able to bring Eden Hazard off the bench. He's still a game changer for them. They are a completely different team with Hazard on the field. It just shows how much they can't afford to lose him.
Well, I think too the thing to note is he seems better when he comes off the bench than when he starts. It looks like to me.
Well,
I feel like
we haven't had the opportunity to
look
see him in Sarri's system.
Regardless, we'll see what happens. Maybe if he might be the early game changer.
Another thing that's worrisome, if I were a Chelsea fan, is that I don't think Sarri has the right midfielders to do what he wants to do, because Conte and it was Conte, Jorginho, and Ross Barkley. I don't know why I said Barkley. in a midfield three, but like Conte he was not really the holding midfield. It was Jorginho, and so Conte was pushed a lot higher than we're used to seeing him. And I don't necessarily think that he possesses the quality. Like at a minimum, I would switch Conte and Jorginho. I think Jorginho being left alone in defensive midfield is going to create problems for them.
Maybe it's Sarri trusts Jorginho more than Conte at the moment, which makes no sense. But
yeah, I guess. But like Conte is not suited to push forward the way that Ross Barkley is, but Conte isn't. And so like it's really weird seeing him so far forward, like pushing into the box. So like I think they need to at a minimum switch Jorginho and Conte, because Conte is one of the best center defensive midfielders in the world.
Yeah, and he would add protection in front of that back line as well.
Moving
on, we got Manchester City versus Huddersfield Town.
Woo!
I don't know why did they even play this
Manchester
game.
City versus championship side.
Yes. The result was 6-1 to Manchester City. Aguero scoring in the 25th, 35th, and 75th minute. Gabriel Jesus scoring in the 31st. David Silva scoring in the 48th. Congolo, right? So
Yep.
Had an own goal, which would be the second own goal of the year, in the 84th minute. And then I forgot his first name, but Stankovic.
John Grenick. Stankovic.
Scored in the 43rd minute. Manchester City possessed the ball 77 to 23% to Huddersfield Town, with 32 shots with 14 on target, with Huddersfield having surprisingly 5 shots with 1 on target. Aguero was a man with boys in this game, I felt. Just the mistakes in the first 2 goals. Or no, it was his first and third goal, I think.
The first goal was the goal kick. The second goal, the goalkeeper dropped the ball.
Yeah, second goal was that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then third goal was like a tap-in, basically. But like the marking
I'm trying to remember what the third one was. I don't remember the third
Yeah, he had like
goal.
the one, it came in like where you just hit it behind his foot.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, where's the marking on it?
It was across from Mendy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Gabriel Jesus had a lot of composure on his first goal, or this goal, and the first goal of the year. Great goal for him. For David Silva's goal, the wall didn't even jump for him. Did you notice that?
It's because you don't jump in front of royalty.
I guess, but the wall didn't jump. I don't know. Maybe that might have changed the outcome of that goal. Like
I honestly think it may have been Huddersfield, but there were 2 times. Kevin De Bruyne not being here, he's the one that did it both times. But we had 2 free kick goals last year going under the wall that jumped. So I think that like people are a little bit hesitant. Okay. Yeah.
But still, I think one guy he barely jumped, but then they were like, "Oh, damn it, we should have jumped."
It was a great free kick. So
yeah.
I mean, yes, the wall didn't jump. I'm not sure. I'd have to watch the replay again to know like if the jumping would have made a difference. Yeah. But it was straight into the top corner. Good finish from him. It was his first game of the year. He didn't play any of the preseason. Did not play the Community Shield. So it was great. I think especially the first half, he was completely running the show. I was surprised at how fluid everything was.
Well, I think he's going to be taking over the somewhat of like De Bruyne's role. And taking
for sure. But I mean, just like I'm surprised that that we were this smooth. Like I didn't expect for like a month or so at least.
Well,
like
I thought
the
formation you guys ran was a 3-5-2.
Yeah, basically.
So a lot of pinning back the fullbacks in that kind of formation to be.
ESPN has it listed as a 3-1-4-2. With Fernandinho holding and then everyone else forward.
Okay, well, regardless, still you're able to push 6 guys into the box, basically.
A couple changes that I would make. Gundogan has to go. It's not going to work. I think I would much rather see Phil Foden in central midfield than I would Gundogan. I think he's a decent enough passer, but he's been giving the ball away a lot this season. Couple of touches getting away from him. I just would like to see Phil Foden get that playing time. Bernardo Silva had a great game. David Silva had a great game. Obviously, Aguero and Jesus were both playing really well. And still, like, they really don't play together all that often still, even though it's been, like, a year and a half that they've been together.
Yeah, I think Sane had a great run. Unfortunately, ended up as his own goal. But I think there's nothing new what we learned about City in this game. We just knew that they are able to break down teams. And that's what we expected from a City team like this and a side like this.
Yeah.
Moving on. Burnley versus Watford. Burnley unfortunately went down 3-1 to Watford. Andre Gray scoring in the 3rd minute real quick. But Burnley responding real quick with James Tarkowski.
Tarkowski. Tarkowski. Tarkowski.
Okay, my bad. Sorry. But anyways,
I'm just saying that's what it says.
I don't know. I thought it was pronounced that way.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. 6th minute, they score. Watford, Troy Deeney getting a nice little ball in off of it was like a miss shot or something like that, I think, in the 48th minute. And then I think it's Will Hughes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't write his first name. In the 51st minute, Burnley getting 58% possession to Watford's 46-2. 8 shots with 3 on target for Burnley, with 9 with 6 on target for Watford. Burnley, yeah, I think their goal was a Burnley goal. It's a set-piece goal. I think we're going to see a lot of set pieces.
Yeah.
They're going to take advantage of those. But regardless, Phil Hughes, his foot is a laser. But I think these kind of wins for Watford, my voice cracked, are going to be kind of what Watford does against the lower end. I like what they have going forward with Deeney and Gray.
Yeah.
And then Pereira. They run like a 4-2-2-2.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, they a lot of balls crossed into Gray, and then Chordini coming in and cleaning up stuff. 2 big mistakes for the last 2 goals. I think the way they set it up they gave the ball away for Hughes' goal, and then Hughes got that free shot in. The Chordini goal, not being able to clear that ball or to get possession of that ball and scoring.
Disappointing for Burnley. I think personally that they played better than the results, than like the scoreline shows anyway. But yeah, it was a good win for Watford.
Did I add an N to Darwinski? Is that what it did?
There's not an N in the.
I added it in.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I don't know how to read.
Yeah, okay. It's all right.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I just think like it was a good win for Watford, and I think that they've found a system that's working pretty well for them with that 4-2-2.
Yeah, I think
formation.
I don't know if they have the depth for it, but they definitely don't. They don't play in Europe anyways, but they'll be able to use this kind of formation and tactics against the smaller end teams.
Yeah.
Or the mid-table teams.
So it's basically the same setup that we saw against Brighton. They beat Brighton 2-0 last week. So
Pereira wasn't as active. Decore, I think, is a big player for them. I think there's some stats that we'll get into at the very end when I say leaders, but I think he's on one of those.
Okay. The best game of the weekend.
The most embarrassing game to watch. Brighton versus Manchester United. Brighton winning 3-2. Glenn Murray scoring in the 25th minute. Shane Duffy scoring in the 27th. Romelu Lukaku scoring in the 34th. Pascal Gross in the 44th. That B is apparently it's a 2 S.
It's a double S.
Yeah, it's a double S.
I didn't learn that till like late last year.
Yeah. And then Paul Pogba. Oh no, Gross scored on a penalty, and then Paul Pogba scored on a penalty in the 95th minute.
Yeah.
Brighton had 33% possession, with Manchester United having 67. 6 shots with 3 on target for Brighton, and then 9 with 3 on target for United. My personal, obviously I'm a United fan, my personal thoughts of this game, just the way it seemed like, I've seen some people talk about how it's like Chelsea in the third year, the last run with Mourinho kind of felt like. Martial played like the first 8 minutes and then just turned his switch off. Mata was just out in the middle of nowhere, and it just seemed like a mess already up top. And then Lukaku should have scored in the 10th minute, I think, or 8th minute.
Yep.
I think Glenn Murray was somewhat of a different. I think he really annoyed that back line, and then also he had a really nice cheeky little goal right there.
That finish was really nice. Caught David De Gea off guard.
I think regardless, he needs to work on the defending on crosses, maybe communicating a little bit better. Duffy's goal was just like a goal where nothing but chickens with their heads cut off, kind of felt like just too many pinballing, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah, it was like a failed clearance. The ball came across the box, a loose shot that went straight to a teammate, and then he controlled it and then put it in the bottom left corner or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah.
Put a man on the post. You don't have that problem. Just saying.
Yeah, the penalty given up by Bailly was just like, where is the positioning going on in that? Like, Murray was just like clear into space. I obviously knew he had to make the tackle. Obviously, that was his decision. A bit like, why was he in that position in the first place?
Yeah. And he was still going like kind of away from goal as well. Like that last. Well, obviously he touched the ball out in front of him when the tackle was coming, but like he touched that ball and like it was gone. Like he wasn't gonna keep it in.
Yeah, and then Pogba had like a weird little. He was giving out the ball, like doing the stupid little dribbling on our side of the pitch. Not, I'm fine with him doing it on the other side, but our side of the pitch is like, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, I think what needs to be done with what we're going to talk about in the preview for next week, Rashford just needs to play. The midfield was a little bit lost. Fred, Pogba they had decent games. It's just the problem was like Murray was just like there was no protection for the back line, it felt like, for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Matic being there would have been a better choice than Pereira. I think Pereira is going to be the more going forward midfielder. I think maybe McTominay should have been there instead of Pereira, and I think he maybe should have even started last game. I know like a lot of people don't rate McTominay very highly, but I think he gets the job done for a defensive midfielder, and they can do the job as well and do it well for Mourinho. I just think we're just playing the wrong lineup, and then also the wrong formation for me.
I think
regardless, yeah.
I think Ashley Young being at right back hurt you guys, because like that was the side that Murray's goal came from, and that was the side that the penalty came from as well, like on that side of the box. Yeah.
I think Luke Shaw had a decently. I think going forward he had a good game, but he had some mistakes going back. But I think
Luke Shaw was okay, but I also don't think that that Brighton really tried to come down that side though.
Yeah, another thing too.
I think they saw Ashley Young as a weakness.
Yeah, what I saw too was like the lack of activity on the right for us, and like more creativity coming on the left. But like the creativity is coming from our left back, not our left winger. And that was a problem for me. Just noticing that. Then the weird shape got really weird when we took out Pereira for Rashford, and it was just like, okay, now we're in 2-man midfield, and then whatever the hell we were going to throw up top. Like there's too much going on, and then Lingard in for Mata, which I think Lingard probably should have started over Mata. I think, yeah, we'll talk about that going for the preview. Terrible game, shouldn't have happened. We have more quality than Brighton, and we should have won this game regardless of not bringing in guys from the transfer window. Regardless of the board not backing Mourinho. Mourinho should have been able to put a team out on the field that should have won this game.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. I agree.
Moving on.
But I'm happy you lost.
Last game, which we just watched earlier today, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool.
I applaud Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace had I thought they had somewhat of a great game.
They had a great 75 minutes.
Yes.
Until the red card. I think they had even being 1-0 down like right before halftime, I think they had a great game for like 75 minutes.
Yeah, so Crystal Palace obviously lost 2-0 to Liverpool. 37% possession to Crystal Palace, 63 to Liverpool, which I think Crystal Palace used created a lot of good chances in that 37% and used the ball resourcefully in that 37%. 8 shots with 2 on target for Crystal Palace, 6 on target for Liverpool. James Milner got a penalty goal in the 45th minute right before half. And then Sadio Mane got the goal at the 92nd minute. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I thought had a decent game.
Yeah.
Up until the 75th minute where he had to make that challenge, and unfortunately, he caught leg.
I really don't even think there was really that much contact there, but it was a foul, and Mo Salah went down, so he was last man.
I mean, sometimes like some people rate that being an automatic red, so it's just last man. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with the red card like at all.
Yeah.
Like he was last man. It's just I didn't really think it wasn't like at all a particularly hard foul or anything like that. It was just it was a foul, and he happened to be last man.
Regardless, Crystal Palace, I thought organized. They played like they did last week, just a straight counterattack, being resourceful with the ball. Like I said, I really like Benteke or what is it? Zaha, Benteke, and Lennon.
Townsend, not Lennon. Lennon doesn't play for them. Lennon plays for.
No, It's not Townsend. It's Lennon. Is it?
Lennon plays for Everton.
Real? Oh my God, am I terrible? Oh wow. Okay, Townsend. Then they're like the same player almost, but anyway.
They are basically the same player.
Townsend, my bad. I wrote Leon Lennon. That's why my bad. I thought Townsend's shot, like that would have went in. I was like,
off
we
the
have a game
crossbar.
here, guys.
Yeah.
But I think Crystal Palace played great in the first half up until the penalty. And then they obviously had to play 10 men, and then they were just getting worked, unfortunately. But I think Crystal Palace has a lot to offer.
Even with 10 men, they were managing.
Yeah, against the Liverpool side.
Right. Yeah, I think this was a really good, encouraging performance for Crystal Palace. They were just lacking that. Like, if they could have nicked a goal, I think they could have completely, especially like early, like when Townsend hit the crossbar. If they could have nicked a goal then, I think they could have really turned that game on their head. It would have been like, it would have put a lot of pressure on Liverpool.
Someone else had, someone had a shot on target for them as well. That was like, but Allison saved it. I forgot.
It was
who
at the near post. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember like the shot at the near post, but I forget who took it.
Yeah, but I mean, they were creating changes. They, like I said, they have a lot going forward.
had a couple of close headers too.
They still have Mara on the bench who played a little bit at the end of the game. So I think, looking forward. Crystal Palace, I believe maybe they'll be able to decide to get out of that side of the relegation zone. I think against the smaller sides they'll be able to use this counterattacking kind of football really well, kind of like Leicester, in a way, how Leicester beat Wolves. But it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
Real quick, we're gonna go through player stats.
All right.
New
segment?
Goals. Yeah, because I said we're gonna do it last. We're gonna do this.
Oh, that's right.
We're gonna start doing this
week.
Since the second week we have actual
Sergio
stats.
Aguero.
So Sergio Aguero has leading the Premier League with his 3. What says 3?
4 total.
Why does it say 3?
Am I retarded? Did he not score against Arsenal?
Did they retract one of those Arsenal that goal?
Let me double check. Maybe I'm.
For right now on the Premier League app, it says 3.
Oh, he did not score against Arsenal. I'm retarded.
Okay,
sorry.
Well, he has 3 in his second game, and where he scored 3, where he went from 0 to 3. Richarlison's at 3, and then Sadio Mane is at 3. So they're all tied.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sadio Mane had a brace last week. Yeah.
Benjamin Mendy is top for assists. Sergio Aguero is top for shots. Will Hughes is top for tackles. Trent Alexander-Arnold is top for clean sheets. And for Fabrizio from Fulham, the goalie.
I want to know how they pick that one.
No, that one has it's like a tied for like everything for clean sheets. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's like all the defenders.
Like what?
But he has 16 saves. Fabrizio.
Oh, okay.
From Fulham.
Okay.
The goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, because he was real busy against Spurs.
Yeah. John Stones leads the Premier League in passes with 177.
Wow.
Through balls, Ruben Neves and Jonjo Shelvey lead the Premier League with 3. Crosses.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
John Berg Gudmundsson, right?
Gudmundsson, yeah.
Gudmundsson is leading the Premier League with 21 crosses. I thought that was Pereira, but I guess not. Those looked at it differently. And then what else? Club-wise, Bournemouth leads the Premier League because of alphabetical order with 2 wins.
No.
Well, alphabetically though.
No, they don't have a high enough goal difference.
Yeah, but I meant with this win statistic is it's all alphabetical. Because Chelsea's right behind them, and then Liverpool.
It's wins, not top of the table. Okay, fine, whatever.
Calm down. Losses, Arsenal leads.
Hey!
Alphabetical order. Man City leads the league with 49 shots. Brighton leads the league. Oh, actually, Brighton, Cardiff, and West Ham are all tied at 44 for tackles.
Okay.
Chelsea leads the league in 1,378 passes, with Burnley leading the league in long balls with 163.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, that is what we got for stats.
But most importantly, top of the table.
Oh, yeah. If you want to go through
the best team in the world.
Table stands
Manchester
right
City.
now. Where is the table? Premier League. Not tickets. No, we can't go. We can't watch the game, unfortunately.
I got you, fam.
I thought I had
first place.
Okay.
The only team that matters, Manchester City.
We got Liverpool in second, Chelsea in third, Watford in fourth, Tottenham in fifth, Bournemouth in sixth, Everton in seventh, Leicester in eighth, Manchester United in ninth, Crystal Palace in 10th, Bournemouth in 11th. Oh, not Bournemouth. Brighton, what the heck? In 11th. Newcastle in 12th, Southampton in 13th, Wolves in 14th, Burnley in 15th, Cardiff City in 16th, Arsenal in 17th, Fulham in 18th, West Ham in 19th, and then poor old Huddersfield is going to get used to that 20th spot.
Arsenal already fighting that relegation battle.
I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Regardless, let's move on to some previews for match day 3. Oh, no. Wait, my bad.
Let's hit the Serie A real quick.
Serie A, my bad. Sorry. The Serie A. First match, Chievo Verona, or Chievo. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. I don't really care. I'm going to say it the way I want. Versus Juventus.
Chievo Verona. So how I say it.
I've heard Chievo. I said Chievo. I've heard Cheetos.
Cheetos.
I've heard so many.
Flamin' hot Cheetos Verona.
Yeah, I've heard different I don't even care anymore.
All right.
They played Juventus this weekend.
All right.
They lost against Juventus, unfortunately, 3-2. They almost did the repeat when Maradona, what's it called? First appearance for Napoli in the same stadium that lost like 25 years ago. They beat Napoli like 3-1 with Maradona.
Okay.
So, anyways, Sami Khedira scored with the first goal of the game in the 3rd minute, scoring the first goal in the Serie A. Sabinski, I forgot his first name. Does it say his first name? I didn't write it down. He scored in the 38th minute.
Maurice
Stabinski.
Mauritius, I don't know.
In the 38th. Giaccherini scoring a penalty in the 56th. And then Bani scoring an own goal in the 75th for the first own goal of the Serie
they did
A
go back and
campaign.
give that as own goal. Okay.
And then Bernardeschi scoring the game winner in the 93rd. Yeah.
Because Bonucci definitely celebrated that like that was him.
Yeah.
But apparently not. Yeah. Watch the mouth out.
So Verona had 27% possession with 73 going to Juventus. 6 on target with 6 with 2 on target, and then 26-10 for Juventus. A lot of shots. A bit shaky for Juventus, but it's the first game. I think I'll give them that in a way, just because they still have to figure it out. Ronaldo was very much frustrated. He had a couple of chances in the beginning of the game. I just think Verona was really organized for this game, I felt, regardless.
Yes, I agree that they were very well organized and they played very well.
And I think after the beginning of the game, Ronaldo from like first half to like mid of the second half, like really didn't have much. It felt like he didn't really have much involvement in a way.
I feel, I don't know. I am skeptical of, a little bit skeptical of Juventus after watching this game.
Okay.
I feel like Real Madrid was prepared for the fact that Ronaldo was going to do nothing defensively. And Juventus are not prepared for that.
Yeah.
So obviously it'll be a little bit of adjustment. I think from my point of view, Ronaldo basically spent 90 minutes trying to get a goal on his debut and not, there was the same kind of antics when like he didn't get the ball to him when he thought he should, specifically him and Cuadrado. I'm sure he got it from Ronaldo in like the dressing room after the game or at halftime or whatever. So there were a couple times that he like didn't pass and decided to shoot on his own. Ronaldo did do a lot better like starting midway through the second half, like you were saying. What happened though is that like they moved him out to the left, and I think that was a little bit more natural for him, and I think that was more beneficial to the team as a whole. It was good to see Bonucci back. Got what he thought was a goal, but I guess ruled an own goal later.
Sandro was kind of like there's no noise from him either in this game. I felt like
he kind of was just there.
Yeah,
but like didn't really impact the game. Juan Cancelo. João Cancelo.
Yeah, he had
he's the one that gave away the penalty.
I think it was a bad timing in the tackle. I think he should have made that tackle before he got to the box in the first place. He could have been able to, but that was the unfortunate. I think it was just timing of the tackle.
So like obviously a new signing for Juve there coming from Inter. So not what you want to see on his debut.
I thought Stabinski's goal was actually pretty. I rated that pretty high.
Yeah,
that was a really nice header.
It was, yeah.
I tweeted about that.
So Verona played well. Juventus did not.
They also played a 4-man
3
back
points
as well, which was weird.
I guess they did with like Cancelo, Bonucci, Chiellini, and
I think going forward they might.
I didn't even pay attention. I'm assuming Perrin was in goal.
No, it was Szczesny.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm. Because he had made 0 saves. I noted that.
Oh, nothing to do. Good for him. Yeah, so I'm just a little skeptical of how this team is going to actually work with Ronaldo.
But another thing to note, Ronaldo almost killed someone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Stefano Sorrentino almost died on the field, it looked like.
Yeah.
He looked pretty knocked out because, like, when the players came up to him, he was like, I was like, oh, my God. Like, he's literally motionless.
Yeah.
And it didn't look initially as when he dropped. Like, it looked like I was going to get up, but then, like, he actually, like, just went.
He was, like, completely just, like, starfish on the ground.
And then that's why they called that goal back that Mandzukic had. It would have been Mandzukic, but it didn't.
They called it was ruled out on VAR because of a handball by Ronaldo.
I thought it was a foul.
The ball he had
okay. I thought it was a foul on the goalie. Okay.
They didn't give it as a foul.
Okay.
It was they ruled out for handball.
They didn't give him a card either. Wow.
No, they didn't.
But yeah, I think Juventus going forward, this is just, I don't know who they play next week. I think they might play. I think they have one of the bigger games next. Do they?
Oops. Let me jump forward here. Sorry. Lazio.
Oh, so yeah,
there you go.
They're gonna need to show up for that game. But I think going forward, I think they'll get it together. I think the new signings with them as well will be fine. They'll figure it out. I like Bernardeschi a lot. I think they need to have a combination of either, Bernardeschi with Cuadrado or with Douglas Costa, and then Bernardeschi on the other side. Just figure that out.
Yeah,
for me. Moving on.
Yeah,
we got Napoli versus Lazio. Napoli getting by at the end ish, winning 2-1. Ciro Immobile with the 25th minute. Milik in the 47th, and then Insigne in the 59th. Lazio had 35% possession, with Napoli with having 65. 10 with 1 on target for Napoli or for Lazio, and then 10 with 3 on target for Napoli. Great start to the game with Immobile's goal. That goal was just
probably my favorite goal so far this season.
Yeah. So yeah, I think for sure this week. But regardless, like he's a one-man attacking crew. For
like that
Lazio
cutback, like he sent Koulibaly. I don't remember the other center back. And Gulam just like gone.
Sariba, it's a Spanish or
nah? He plays for Lazio, not Napoli. Let's find out. Oh, Raul Albiol.
Albiol, okay.
Yeah.
I know it started with the name.
Yeah.
But regardless, yes. Beating those 3 guys, amazing. Same thing with the VAR thing with Milik. Milik had a goal where some kind of contact happened with the keeper, and then he scored that goal, but then he brought it back because of the foul before the goal.
Yeah.
Same kind of VR situation in a way. Insigne's goal was pretty gnarly.
Nice finish
for the
in
game
the top
winner.
right. Yeah.
Did come off though with a little knee injury and little knee ding. Hopefully that's like a bruise, not like some kind of strain or tear. Hopefully, I'm not sure. We haven't checked the update on that. But unfortunately, I think Immobile or Lazio need to figure out to offer some help out for Immobile. I thought like the 35% possession was like literally Immobile getting runs in. Made a lot of good runs. He missed not really missed, but mistargeted that back post cross, or that little. It was a cross and then dinged back to him. And
right. Yeah.
It went outside of the netting. But yeah, I think if Lazio can figure that out, I know they made a couple signings that'll help them out. Hopefully they can figure that out for them. I don't think they're gonna figure out next week. I think they'll go down. Maybe it might go down. Maybe a draw. We'll see. We'll talk about it later, or right after this. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed watching Serie A now consistently. Did you watch any other games this past weekend?
No, but I watched. I followed the Roma game. I think that Roma against Torino, it was very sluggish. I think that was their first game back. Obviously, I think that Roma are probably of the teams that finished in the top 4. So like Inter, Napoli, Roma, and Juve. I think that Roma are the most likely team to fall out if they don't kind of get their act together.
I would say that too.
Edin Dzeko has been great for them since they signed him from Manchester City. Scored a kind of awkward looking, but according to the statistics, I guess, like very difficult volley. It had an expected goal of .04, so like 4% chance of that like goal being scored, and like he hit that volley and scored like over the goalkeeper. So like really big 3 points for them to start off the season right. Especially considering the fact that like other big game this weekend being Swallow versus Inter, and Inter just like completely unable to get anything going.
Yeah. So Swallow though, kudos to them. It was a Bernardi cross into either Boateng, which I didn't know who he was playing for them. Was it Boateng? No.
I don't know. It was a penalty for the goal.
Oh, never mind. No, he had a
scored.
nice cross and someone didn't finish it. But yeah, I watched that game too. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Inter is a team that I think could possibly challenge for a title this year, but like not at all the way that they played this week. It was really disappointing.
I think they're the same kind of boat with the AC Milan team last year, but I think they'll just need time to figure that out. But they don't really have a lot of time with Juventus.
Right. Yeah.
I also watched PSV versus Fortuna Sittard. That's a newly promoted side. PSV.
Oh, PSV. I thought you said PSG. I was like, what?
No,
okay.
PSV barely getting out of that one at the very end with Rigo scoring that goal. No, they scored. No, it was 2-1. And then I watched Ajax versus Va, which is I like that name. It's really cool.
I like that name. Yeah.
But yeah, a new boy almost taking down another. I think Graafschap beat Feyenoord last week, but I almost saw Fortuna beat PSV this week, the champions from last year. Interesting games.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. Match day 3, baby. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
We got Wolves versus Manchester City for the first game at 4:30 a.m.
Why at 4:30? Why does it have to be at 4:30? I'm actually mildly worried about this because I feel like Wolves just don't care at all. Like, they're just going to go for it. And they have shown over the first 2 games of the season to be pretty dangerous thus far and creative in the final third. And so, I don't know. I feel like they are certainly capable of nicking a couple goals off of maybe a underprepared and still getting ready for the new season like backline. And I don't know. I think we will 100% see a return to a back 4. I think that like they'll get a little bit more respect than because I don't expect them to sit in the way Huddersfield did. So I think we'll go back to a back 4.
I don't. I would expect you guys to play the same formation. I feel like that formation pins those fullbacks back. So like, and then it neutralizes the midfielder, which is going to be Neves.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's dangerous because like John Stones wanders forward every once in a while, and like it leaves us like basically like 2-6-3.
But I think at the worst though, I think you guys have like 3 to 4 goals to like if Wolves does score, they'll probably no more than 2.
The offense is clicking right now.
No more than 2. I don't see
it's for sure. So I'm just a little bit worried, but this is a team that we should beat.
Yes, for sure.
100%.
I'm going to go with City in this. What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with City, but I'm going to go like 4-2.
4-2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with City just regardless as the winner.
Okay.
They're going to they have 83% to win, 3 to draw, 14 to Wolves.
Well, see? Some people out there thinking the way I'm thinking.
We got Arsenal versus West Ham. Interesting game. It's either Arsenal can play the right formation, and then if West Ham can exploit that wrong formation goal or show up and play. Like I said, I think Pellegrini doesn't have the quality that they did at City, but I think he's gonna be able to figure like you said, we're both of us are on this West Ham train.
Oh, you're on this West Ham train with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was.
Welcome.
I picked West Ham last week.
Welcome. Well, yeah, but that was against Bournemouth.
Yeah, but they lost.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But regardless, though, I feel like this is going to be a draw.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't. West Ham are in much worse shape than I thought they would be.
Okay.
Even this early in the season. As long as Arsenal aren't as wasteful as they were against Chelsea, I don't expect West Ham to defend any better than Chelsea did. So
Okay.
I think that they could easily lose another like 4 goals to Arsenal and could get really ugly really quick for West Ham.
I think it might be a shootout. I think it's gonna be like 3-3.
Okay, I would like that because
Yeah.
I want Manuel Pellegrini to succeed.
Yeah, I think they'll get a point out of this at least. So 82% going to Arsenal, 4 for a draw, 14 going to West Ham. Like I said, I have a lot of faith in West Ham, like you. Next, we got some Everton won that game, right? Or they drew the first game against Wolves.
2-2 Wolves. 2-2 games. Yeah, Richarlison scored twice, and then there was that free kick after Jagielka was sent off.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So we got Bournemouth versus Everton. Oh, this one's kind of tough for me to pick in a way because Everton's backline is a little tricky against either a Wilson or Fraser, my bad.
Fraser, yeah.
So it's going to be kind of tricky for them. I think Everton's midfield is a little bit better.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I do like Cook and then Aki. And I think, what's it called? Bournemouth is, I think their first game they ran a 3-man back, so they're more than capable of doing stuff.
I'm actually going to go with Bournemouth.
Okay.
I think that they're playing really well to start the year. Everton have yet to keep a clean sheet.
That is true. This is true.
So I think Bournemouth are definitely going to have their chances. So it's just whether or not they take it. And I'm going to go with they are going to take them. So I'm going to go I'm actually going to go 3-2.
Okay.
Bournemouth over Everton.
Another Richarlison goal?
Well, of course, because he's on my fantasy team, so you better score, Richarlison.
I'm going to go with the draw again, just to make it different too. 78% going to Everton, 7 going to a draw, and then 15 going to Bournemouth. So Bournemouth are the underdogs,
Yikes.
apparently.
So Bournemouth, you're telling me that Bournemouth only has a 1% higher chance of beating Everton as Wolves beating Manchester City?
I guess.
Yo. No way.
All right, next game. We got bottom feeders, baby.
Bottom feeders.
We got the
Pond scum.
We got the homeless guys in Huddersfield Town, and we got little 1-foot pigeon bird in Cardiff City.
This game could not come at a better time for Huddersfield. Huddersfield just got pasted 6 goals. What was funny about the Huddersfield losing 6 goals was that it didn't look like anyone cared that they just lost like 6-1. They're just like, whatever. Like, this is what we expected. Yeah. So Cardiff have been completely dead since they started the season. Cardiff have yet to score. So I'm going to go with a Huddersfield win here. I think that Cardiff will continue to struggle. They might score in this one. I'm going to go like 2-1. But I just think Huddersfield are a better team. Even though they're not that great of a team, they are a better team than Cardiff. I'm
going to go with the draw.
Okay.
I don't trust any of these teams. They are either of these teams, fortunately. But a little bit more evenly
I was going to say, watch, Cardiff's going to be like
in the
13%.
Huddersfield has 51, a draw is at 16%, and then Cardiff has 33%.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit more distributed out in there.
Is this this is a home game for Huddersfield, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Huddersfield for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Southampton versus Leicester City. Interesting.
Leicester City looked. I think they had a great first 45 minutes of the season against Manchester United, and I don't think that they really looked all that good since.
I like Maddison. I rate Maddison pretty well. I think he's going to have a good season. I think against the smaller teams, he's going to even do better.
Yeah, Maddison's been a standout. They're going to be without Jamie Vardy, though, because of the red card.
But Kelechi Iheanacho.
Yeah, I know. I love him. He's a Manchester City hero. But
well, Southampton played. Who they played last week? They played
Everton,
and then the week before they played Watford. No.
I don't remember.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be right. Not Bournemouth. Bournemouth would be West. Oh no, wait, that's this weekend. Cardiff.
And they drew to Cardiff. That's not good.
Nah, they won. Bournemouth 1-2. Oh, sorry, I'm looking for Southampton. Sorry. I'm giving you false information. Burnley. 0-0 draw to Burnley.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So they didn't score against Burnley, but Burnley is a pretty organized side. Even though they gave up 3
I wouldn't really
goals.
look too much into that 0-0 draw with Burnley.
For me.
I'm gonna go with Southampton on this one.
I'm gonna go with Leicester City on this one.
I thought I was waiting for you to say a draw.
Because I like Madison, Kelechi Iheanacho. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Yeah, his first name.
Kelechi.
And then Pereira looks pretty good for them as well. He was up there in passes or crosses, but then he got, I don't know, something switched for some reason. So, and then he's also on my fantasy team.
The true allegiances show
yes.
themselves.
Yeah.
I think Southampton has looked better than their results, and I think Leicester, without Jamie Vardy, are going to struggle to find a goal.
Is it like, dare I say it, do I believe that I feel like Danny Ings is a better striker than Jamie Vardy?
Prior to injury, I would have said yes.
Okay.
Obviously, Jamie Vardy has risen in prominence since then, but I think Jamie Vardy is currently a little bit overrated.
Okay.
So it's possible.
We'll see this year.
Ask me again in a month.
But anyways, so Leicester City won't have Jamie Vardy, but I still have them winning this game. They are at 79%, 7% draw, 14 to Southampton. A lot of these are.
I feel so bad
one-sided.
for Danny Ings because he was Jamie Vardy. Like Jamie Vardy ate his lunch.
I would say
he wasn't as fast as Jamie Vardy.
He's not as fast as Jamie Vardy, but Danny Ings did create a lot of goals and made a lot of great runs in that when he was in Burnley, and he was scoring goals with Burnley.
Yeah, I know.
That's my thing. But like Jamie Vardy, like he had Mahrez, Conte.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
a lot more.
Yeah,
going
I
on
understand.
So.
But like not like as far as the way he plays identical to Jamie Vardy, but like he was this. Like coming up from the lower divisions with Burnley,
I agree.
Then like scoring all these goals, scoring a bunch of goals in the Premier League, and then like got his like switch, and then like terrible injury, and like ruined his career at like a terrible time, like right when he was rising, and then Jamie Vardy like came up like a couple years later, and I mean like came to prominence a couple years later, and like kind of ate his lunch.
Klopp gave him a chance. It just didn't seem like he was going to fit in the Klopp system because he already had Firmino. Firmino seems like the better fit with Salah. Like Danny Ings goes more
before Salah.
Yeah, but I meant like he has like those guys go more forward than Firmino does sometimes. That's why Firmino comes back. So
Firmino's more like center forward than he's a striker. Yeah.
Regardless, we got Liverpool versus Brighton. Whew. This is at Anfield.
I can't count that high.
I think it's gonna be a totally different result from the Man United game. Obviously, I think they're gonna have have high heads, but at the end of this game, they're gonna have some very low heads.
High heads.
But if they're organized like they were at Crystal Palace, absorbing pressure, get a nice counterattack with a Glenn Murray little cheeky goal, I can see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think Liverpool's gonna win this game. How about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4-1.
4-1?
Liverpool.
Okay.
I think Brighton will nick one. Hopefully early, get them squirming a little bit.
Squirming.
But Liverpool at home, it's going to be too much for Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're just going to be parked in their own half. I don't think they're going to be allowed to get out like they were against United.
Yeah.
So, I don't expect it to go well.
So 95% going to Liverpool, 1% going to draw.
4% you got 4%, Brighton.
You got 4%.
I got you. I got you.
Here we go. Watford versus Crystal Palace. Watford side I like, and Crystal Palace side I like. Do you believe Crystal Palace is going to get their first 3 points of the season?
Before today, I would have picked Watford in this game with no hesitation. But Crystal Palace played really well today. And if they can play like that against Liverpool and continue that against teams of their ilk, I think it will be very good for them. So I'm actually going to go for Crystal Palace to get their first 3 points of the season.
That's too bad because I'm going to go with Watford.
Wow. Whatever.
Regardless, I think it's just Watford. I like what they offer up front. That's just me.
Are Watford on 6 points? Did they win both? Yeah, they did win both of their games. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised if Crystal Palace gets the W.
The dub?
Yes. But
Watford or Crystal Palace did already win a game this year.
They did?
Yeah,
They beat Bournemouth? No.
No, Bournemouth won.
No, they didn't beat Bournemouth. They beat someone else.
Cardiff?
not Cardiff. That was a draw.
Where are they? I'm in the wrong week now. Who did these people play? Fulham.
Fulham. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Regardless, Watford is at 50%. Draw 10%. 40 going to Crystal Palace. Pretty even.
Yeah.
Pretty even. Moving on. We got Fulham versus Burnley. Craven Cottage. Host. Is this the first game at Fulham?
No. The Palace game was at Craven Cottage.
Okay.
This one is tough for me because
I like Mincevic.
I think that Fulham are actually the better team, but they haven't really played like it. But I do think they were unlucky against Palace in that first game.
They were unlucky last week too.
Yeah, they were.
No way. Oh, actually, no, wait. They played Tottenham. Never mind. I forgot about that game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even like they put Tottenham under some pressure for the first 45 minutes, first half.
I don't think they would have. At best, would have gotten a draw out of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a draw. I think Burnley coming off 3-1 defeat to Watford, right?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate to win.
Yeah, and
a little sloppy.
And Fulham being at home, I think will give them a boost coming back home. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-1.
Let's see. If Fulham can definitely put that pressure on like they did against Tottenham, against a Burnley side that didn't really take pressure, if they can run some kind of press on Burnley to where they're trying to play balls back or just play balls in weird positions, like they gave against the Hughes goal, I could see Fulham doing that, but I also don't see Fulham scoring that type of goal. And I see some stupid mistake in that back line. A lot of long balls, like Burnley is leading in the Premier League. So I'm going to go Burnley on this one.
All right.
So Fulham has 53%.
Yeah.
Draw is at 9. And then 38 going to Burnley.
The draws are never more than like 10%. No one likes to pick draws, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
No one likes people that sit on the fence like I just did.
We are going to St. James's Park.
Newcastle versus Chelsea.
We're going where all the Geordies live. I think that's what they call themselves, right? Because of True Geordie.
I don't know. I don't watch that. I'm not a Man United fan.
Well, no, I think they call Newcastle people Geordies.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Newcastle versus Chelsea. Interesting test. Newcastle played Tottenham week 1, right?
Yes, they did.
And then they played Chelsea, obviously, this week. But then it's kind of
they
somewhat rough games. Good that they're getting Chelsea early. But I'm starting to feel that against top sides, they're going to be a below mid-table team watching them now.
Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they still – I think them, Wolves, and like Burnley want to go for it, or even Watford want to go for it regardless of the team. They're going to try to score goals. But it just doesn't feel right. I feel like they haven't figured it out yet. I think Rafa Benitez will figure it out, but I don't think he'll figure it out for this game. But also, it's Chelsea. All you got to do is cross the ball.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
And you have a guy named Rondon. What's his first name?
Solomon
Rondon. And then you have Joselu. And then you also have Kennedy, who will probably kick someone. Actually, can he play in this game? Because he's loaned out.
I don't think you can play against your parent club.
Oh, well, we'll see.
So probably not.
So it's a bit of a toss-up. If they can exploit the midfield, I feel, John Joe Selvey, get a little sneak ball in against David Luiz, going out too far forward, a little run down.
I'm going to go for a draw.
You want to go for a draw?
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'm going to go for Chelsea.
What? After all that you just said? I think that Chelsea need to figure out their midfield situation, and their midfield situation is causing them problems at the back. So I think they're susceptible to conceding at almost any time. They kept giving up the same, like we talked about for the Arsenal-Chelsea game, they kept giving up the same exact chance, switch to the side, cut back to the penalty spot, wide open in front of Kepa. So, I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay.
Draw.
I'll be like 2-1.
Okay. Chelsea
with 88%. Draw with 3%, and then Newcastle only has 9.
9% people. Chelsea have not looked that good so far this season.
I don't think so either. But I still think I'm gonna maybe like 3-2, but they're only win by 1
I
goal.
think that's too many. Oh, Chelsea was 23. Okay, I was gonna say yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Last game, big game of the week. We got Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspurs. This already looks. I'm already hesitant about this game. I think we need to change. Like coming back from what we talked about in the preview for this. Sanchez is hurt apparently. Stay hurt, please. I think Rashford.
Stay hurt.
Either it'd be Rashford, Lukaku, Lingard, and then I like McTominay in the middle, but I don't think he's going to play on Pereira probably, and then Pogba and Fred. I don't think changing that. Maybe change. I don't. You can't really change the shape. Obviously, it's Tottenham. Maybe you might see something like that. I don't know if he's going to give Bailly or Lindelof and put, for some reason, Phil Jones or Chris Smalling in. I don't see that happening. I think Darmian should come back in this game at right back, and then Luke Shaw continually stay at left back. I think Young should not be in this game because Trippier and whoever they play on the left is just going to tear up Luke, or not. We're going to tear up Young's positioning and be able to get balls crossed in. I think Darmian offers that defensive side of the game and positioning that we're going to need. Obviously, it doesn't offer too much going forward, but we need more of a defensive guy there if we don't have anyone.
Yeah. I think that Lingard, Lukaku, and Rashford is the front three that everyone else thinks that Manchester United should have. Therefore, it's not going to be the front three that Manchester United end up playing, that Jose Mourinho ends up playing.
If anything, I think he does need to make the crucial change with Mata. Mata doesn't. I think he's a better coming off the bench. If anything, we'll probably see Martial for some stupid reason, and then Lukaku, and then probably Lingard. I feel because he made those changes obviously at the half with Rashford and Lingard. He's also going forward, but like it didn't offer going forward. Whatever is going on with the locker room and everything, it's not looking good. I'm still gonna pick United because I'm gonna pick.
You're contractually obligated to pick United.
I have to, but I think we can win this game. It's not fantasy land where we haven't beaten Tottenham.
It's a home game for you guys?
Yeah, and it's also a home game.
Good. So you guys can embarrass yourselves at home now. Because I'm going to go with Spurs. I think that they have the better midfield. I think that they have the better attacking, at least more like clinical attacking. I think Harry Kane is 100 times the striker that Romelu Lukaku will ever be. And I don't even really think that highly of Harry Kane. I just think that Romelu Lukaku is trash. I guess I would like to see United play the front three that you're describing, especially with Alexis Sanchez out. I've always thought that Rashford should be starting over Lukaku anyway, but I guess there's a lot of people that seem to think he's better on the left than he is in the middle.
Yeah. I think he makes better runs and he is more active, and he also is better on the ball and is able to like just get in weird situations where he just helps someone score, creates a chance, or scores himself.
I think
Lukaku doesn't do that at all.
I think that you guys might as well start with Marouane Fellaini in midfield because we all know you're going to end up there eventually.
Yeah, that was
anyway.
Another big problem. Like at the second half, it seemed like we were just trying to play long balls from the midfield into there, and I hope this is not what's going to happen. It happened last year where we won with Martial getting a long ball. I don't know who it was from, but it was off Lukaku, I believe. And then it was him, and then he got that like just one-on-one goal after beating, I think it was Alderweireld.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was Alderweireld.
Scoring. But I think that's going to be the same thing that's going to happen here. I think Tottenham's going to put a lot of pressure on us. We're going to absorb, and that goal is going to come from all that pressure and then being able to come back. Depending on what Tottenham's shape is, I think they played a 3-man back when we played them at home last time for this fixture.
Okay.
I think it was like Alderweireld, Sanchez, and then I want to say
probably Trippier.
No,
or Ben Davies, or maybe
no. Not only Vertonghen was hurt. I think no Vertonghen. Yeah, it was those three.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah, I think Spurs are the better team at the moment. I think they don't have as many question marks surrounding their team and club at the moment. I saw an interesting stat about David De Gea the other day. Like, since the end of the World Cup, he's faced 11 shots on target and 10 of them were goals. And that was just like a little startling to me because he's always the guy that's like standing on his head, like keeping United in the game, and just like hasn't been able to come up with saves recently.
I think he could have saved that penalty. The Glenn Murray one, there was no saving that one. And then the Duffy goal, that was on the defense, I feel.
I'm just saying 10 of 11 shots
The
back.
Leicester goal was like a weird one where he thought he was going out. I thought he should have tried to go get that ball, but obviously he didn't.
Oh, the Vardy's one off the post.
Yeah, that was
I don't really blame him too much for that one personally, but I'm just saying it was just a weird, like compared to what we've seen from David De Gea for the last like few years, like it's just a weird stat to see that many like goals. And you guys haven't seemed to solve anything as far as like center backs. I don't think really, especially after that last game against Brighton.
I think the first game against Leicester, I think they played well. Bailly played well, but this game is just like, I think there's just they exploited the like. Not that Pereira doesn't offer that much protection, but I don't think he offers like what a Matic can offer from the midfield.
I think you guys are really missing Nemanja Matic.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I know it's like Marouane Fellaini is a bit of a meme, but I really think that you guys should consider starting him. I think that he would offer more as far just like winning second balls in the midfield.
I think what Mourinho wants is the Pereira to distribute the ball from the back, and then I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
I know what you mean, but it's not been happening.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Spurs.
Well, Pereira's more of a forward player. I don't know why he's.
I'm gonna go just 1-0.
Okay.
Spurs.
All right.
I'm sorry.
We'll see. What time is this game?
12 p.m.
So
Monday.
Are we gonna watch it next week?
Sure. I'll laugh at you. It's fine.
Well, alrighty. That has been our predictions for this week for the Premier League. We have a couple for this upcoming week and
the rest of the world.
The rest of the world, because the rest of the world kind of matters. Interesting matchups. The first game.
What league are you going to first?
It doesn't matter.
I have the Serie A open.
Go with Serie A then.
So Saturday morning. Lazio versus Juventus. I think that if Lazio can play the way that they did in the first half against Napoli, they can cause Juventus some problems.
I agree with that.
So I'm actually going to go for a draw.
Draw? That would be my problem.
This is a home game for Juventus, though.
It is a home game. I'm going to go with the Juve winning.
Okay.
Because I feel like Immobile will get a goal somehow out of this, or it will create a chance for someone else. I think Lazio will get one goal, but I think Juventus will score more than one goal for me. I think they offer more going forward than what Napoli had to go going against Lazio in this past game.
I just realized that AC Milan didn't play this weekend. This is so like the next game, the second game Saturday morning, is Napoli versus AC Milan. And this is AC Milan's first game of the season.
They postponed like 4 games this past weekend because of some kind of bridge collapse.
The Genoa. I didn't even think about that. So Genoa obviously wouldn't have played this weekend either.
And I think they were scheduled for them, so that's going to be rescheduled.
Okay,
it was two. There was 2 games.
I didn't even register with me that that was why they didn't play. Okay, yeah. So this will be AC Milan's first game of the season. So it'll be interesting to see. They're going to be without Bonucci now, which I don't really know. I don't really think he ever really played that well for them. So it could actually be a benefit to them. And a Napoli who were able to come back against Lazio under Carlo Ancelotti. So he'll have another week to like get his system. He'll have a lot of data now for like who he wants in his squad. I think definitely over the course of the season, Napoli are going to be the better team. And I think that they're going to very similar game, I think, against Lazio.
Well, the goal they gave up was like, I think no one for AC Milan is the same caliber player as Immobile to do that. I don't think anyone on AC Milan can do that for them like what Immobile did to score that goal.
Yeah, I know. I still think I'm gonna go 2-1 Napoli.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Napoli regardless of score. I don't care. They're gonna win this game.
Okay, fine.
I don't care. I'm not gonna predict no score. Anyways, regardless, Juventus is up 85% to 4% draw and 11% Lazio. I went with Napoli, like I said, 44% Napoli, 9% draw, 48% AC Milan.
Ooh, AC Milan favorites in that game.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Take a quick look at the French league. Don't think there's any too big. PSG's up against Angers, so probably not.
Shout out to Timothy Weah.
Hope you start, bud.
Starting last week.
Nothing really going on in the French league. Bundesliga. There was didn't you say Dortmund was playing? Wolfsburg Schalke, 6:30 in the morning our time here on Saturday the 25th. Also Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayer Leverkusen. So this is the opening weekend of the Bundesliga, right?
Yeah, opening weekend for the Bundesliga.
And then Sunday the 26th, Borussia Dortmund versus Red Bull Leipzig. Lots of turnover at both of those teams, Dortmund and Leipzig. Like lots of players in and out.
Yeah. Bitzel coming in, Delaney coming in for Dortmund. And then there's another. There's rumors that Weigl might be leaving. There's like a 75 million projected price tag for him.
For Julian Weigl, it's where?
I have to double check.
Yikes! Wow,
yeah.
75 million. Wow. So it'll be interesting to see kind of like how the Bundesliga fall. Obviously, Bayern Munich have won it every year since 13.
They're almost like the same boat as
12
Juventus,
or 13,
basically.
Yeah,
almost.
They're quite a few in a row.
Years well, yeah. Definitely.
They won it last year with Ancelotti. No, with Karl Rummenigge. Heinkes. Because they brought him back after they let go of Carlo Ancelotti. I almost said Rummenigge, but he's like the GM or whatever. So like Liga last year, then they had the last 3 with Pep, and then
they play
Heinkes before that was the
before them.
They won the treble that year, so it's been at least 5 or 6 years.
So you got Dortmund or I can't. Oh my God!
I'm gonna go with Leipzig. Actually,
I want to say Leipzig. For some reason, I don't know why.
I'm actually gonna go with Leipzig. I think I really like Timo Werner, and I think Dortmund are gonna be a little sketchy, not skeptical, sketchy at the back.
Why? I got Dortmund.
Oh well, there you go.
77 Dortmant, 7%.
No way. 72.
72. My bad.
72% Dortmund.
21.
Like it's a home game
Leipzig.
for them, but like they have that club over the last few years.
Leipzig.
They have they have a new manager in this year, I think. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
They have such a high turnover as far as and they have such a young roster. I don't expect I don't expect them to challenge Bayern Munich. They're like too inconsistent. We saw that last year. I mean, they fell out of the top 4 at some points last year.
Man, titties.
Okay. Let's look at the Spanish league real quick.
I think it's Villarreal and Sevilla is the biggest game I saw.
Okay. So nothing too big in. I guess just purely standings wise, I think Real Madrid and Girona, that's actually one of the bigger games. Because Girona, I think, finished kind of up there last year, in the top 7.
Yeah, but it's not top 4.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, sure. But for how small of a team they are,
that league is 3 teams.
And Girona is basically they're owned by Manchester City.
Okay.
They're basically a team of lone players.
Okay.
So for them to finish as high as they did,
that's good.
That was good for them. So nothing big going on in La Liga. So. I don't have any other. Yeah.
That's it for now. Quote.
Oh yeah.
Real quick.
Let me pull it up real quick.
There's a quote came out this past week by the president of La Liga. We are going to discuss this quote. Jacob Bullard is about to pull the quote up. It was on Twitter. I think you sent me it.
Yeah, I sent you that link though to that article.
There was an article. There it is. Is it that?
Yep.
Yep. I don't know the guy's name. What's the guy's name?
Javier Tebas.
Tebas.
Tebas. Tebas. I don't know.
Interesting quote. He had something about Neymar cheating with PSG and Man City. Stuff that I've never heard from. No, I was kidding. Do you have the exact quote?
So he was being asked by the Spanish newspaper ABC with like the market and how certain clubs conduct their business, and this is what he had to say. So this is a quote from him. Things don't happen just because we make mistakes, but I don't think this is the case. But other clubs, things have happened which shouldn't happen. It says, I'm not only referring to PSG, but also Juventus with the signing of Ronaldo, and Inter, who have no money to buy players, but then offer a mountain of money, the source of which I do not know. Tricks in the market. As for Juve, I don't know. We have to see how their deal for Ronaldo pans out, but Inter's offer for Modric hid some tricks. The PSG Neymar issue was also rigged. PSG are a club of tricks like Manchester City, and this generates circumstances that destabilize the market and the media. And that was his big quote. This article that I sent to you.
Spanish fans have to realize it. That's what he said.
Oh, did I skip? I must have skipped like the last line.
That's what
So following this statement, apparently Inter Milan are actually suing this guy over like his comments about like their offer for Luka Modric. I'm not really sure like what the legal ramifications are going to be for that. But in general, like I could not like if you are now to look up in the dictionary like the pot calling the kettle black, this whole thing is exactly this. Like you do not get to sit there while like Real Madrid and Barcelona have been spending way more money than everyone else
in the one league
for years, and then come out and be like, oh, like look at how much money all these people are spending, and like they're the ones disrupting the market. I guess partially agree with like PSG. The PSG Neymar deal definitely, at least for that year, disrupted the market. I think we've seen a little bit of return.
Yeah, because Dembele
to
went
some
for
normalcy,
but yeah, price.
So everyone like knew that Barcelona had a mountain of money to spend after that Neymar deal. So like it went up from there, obviously.
Coutinho went up too, but Coutinho's a little bit maybe deserves what that was, maybe a little bit less.
I think part of that why that deal was so high too was that it was the middle of the season.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think I don't at all think that like Juve are playing any tricks like getting that Ronaldo deal. I think they're more than capable with like the success that they like the Champions League money and like winning the league so many times in a row. Like I don't really think that a one-off thing. I guess they did pay a lot of money for Higuain, but a one-time thing for Ronaldo of $100 million is nothing to them.
I also think like their international growth has been rapid.
Yeah.
I think they're almost gonna surpass like Bayern Munich eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd say they're definitely up there.
Yeah.
They're in the conversation. But yeah, I don't think like Manchester City, we've spent a lot of money on the whole.
Well, from the start, like the first set of investments you guys made were like just really high price tags for not the players, I think. But then like I would think of later on, obviously, but like the price tags met like what you guys paid for. I think Aguero's. How much did you guys pay for Aguero?
I don't remember.
It was like 20.
Couldn't have been more than 20 or 30.
Yeah, like that's a deal.
Our record transfer is Riyad Mahrez this past summer for like $60 million.
Yeah.
So like we're not really out there inflating the market. I think that like we definitely overpaid for some players in like the early years, but that was because we had nothing.
That's what
like
I'm saying.
We had to overpay.
Yeah, that's
I think now you've seen Manchester City. I think just as a fan and like watching them over the last like many years now, that we're in a position now because of the money that we spent before. Like we're in a position now that like we can walk away from Alexis Sanchez. We walked away from Riyad Mahrez twice because Leicester were trying to get so much money.
Well, I think he might be putting that out too because like your academy isn't. Right now it looks good, but at the moment, like Iheanacho would have been like one of the guys. Before that, I don't know who that would have been. That would have went through the academy. That would you guys.
Before Iheanacho would have been Micah Richards.
Because right now it's only Foden at the moment.
Foden and Diaz.
And Diaz.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe he might be throwing that out as in a sense like where the whole team is like not what it looks like in a way. I think maybe because Barcelona does have a lot of like academy guys, and Real Madrid have like a lot of academy guys, but they never pan out in the sense they always get blown out or they just get sold off like later on. I think their academies are like some of the best academies in the world. Like I've seen a lot of players. I don't know, for me.
You talking about like Real Madrid and Barcelona?
Yeah, like when I look at like when I go for FIFA, when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to spend some money. I'm like, I'm going to buy a Barcelona academy guy or a Real Madrid academy guy. For me,
I'm thinking of Real Madrid's like lineup right now.
But like their lineup
like
right now.
The only person
is
they have
Asensio,
Nacho and Asensio are like the
they
two.
bought in, but like they bought him in like when he was a teenager though.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that
and
one.
He chose Real Madrid over Barcelona anyways. The only other guy too, Danny Carvajal. Yeah, Carvajal maybe. But I know Casillas before that, regardless too.
Yeah.
And then
but like right now, like they
Sergio
really,
Ramos too.
Right. No, didn't Ramos? Oh no, I'm thinking of
PK came
Xabi
from
Alonso and PK. Yeah.
Yeah, Alonso.
Yeah, it could have been Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, Marcelo came.
I really don't think that they are like pulling too much from their academy either, at the moment.
Yeah, I think and their bench Vasquez came from a different club. But it came from like when he was younger.
It came from Sociedad, I think.
Yeah, and then there is another guy on the bench that I'm missing. Like Casemiro, I think they brought in when he was very young too, but not like young in like his like 20s or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I just feel like if you look at the list of world record transfers, like you're not gonna find Manchester City on that list. I think dragging. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm taking it.
It was a personal shot to you.
It was like
I was like, oh god.
I am taking it a little bit personally because, like I said, we set the record when we bought Ederson. We set the record for a goalkeeper. When we bought John Stones, we set the record for a defender. But if we're talking about like money spent, like total, it's
maybe
not
that's
us.
Because
like we did, like I guess we set the record for because like we paid 50 or 55 for John Stones, I think. And like that was the record then, and we paid a bunch for Emerick Laporte as well. But like still, like the max is 60.
Kyle Walker too.
I think we paid 45 for Kyle. Yeah, I mean they were all up there. Like it was a lot of money, but I also don't feel like
maybe that's why you're seeing the inflation because a lot of defenders are going for higher prices and the goalkeepers are going for higher prices now.
I understand what he's saying. I agree with him with the Neymar thing, but like I don't think that, especially in the Premier League, like. We made more than just for like being in the Premier League. We made more than $50 million, £50 million or whatever. Like the money is there. Like and City are turning like all the money that we've spent over the last 3 years. Like we're like had he said this 4 or 5 years ago, he would have 100% had an argument because City weren't running a profit. Like they were running the team at a loss to like the rest of. Like Seekmon Shores, like that, like City itself was a loss. But like the last few years, City are turning a profit. Like all the money that we're spending in the transfer market, like we're making money as a team. Like by itself, we're generating revenue. So like I don't think you have any ground to stand on complaining about like money spent in the market when like it's completely like in house, like we can pay for it and afford it.
I think I would say bringing in more academy players, and I think. That argument just gone.
Well, I mean that's still like a valid argument that like hopefully Phil Foden with Kevin De Bruyne out will like be like really that first person because like everyone I thought that it was gonna be Iheanacho and like it didn't end up being like he ended up moving on when Pep came in, but I think Foden has a chance to be like that first one, and I think that there's been a lot more focus on the academy with Guardiola there anyway. So I don't know. I didn't like what he had to say personally.
I feel good because United wasn't in there. I mean, the only big signing, like the really biggest signing, was obviously Pogba, but that made sense. Pogba deserves that price tag.
I don't know. I feel like if you look at the people we've signed recently, that like the way John Stones has been playing for us, I'm not at all bothered by the $50 million price tag.
I think over time he'll like be able to like you're worth that money. Like by the end of his career, he'll be like, all the trophies and stuff that he's contributed.
Probably,
for the team. The Walker one made sense because that's in-house, like in league. You know, Tottenham's gonna want to get more money from him. That makes sense.
So was John Stones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. But I think the Walker one is like more of a competitor.
So was
top six.
Too.
Top six, man.
Yeah.
I meant by top six. And then the Laporte was it like 50 again?
50 to 60.
Yeah. So it
to Bilbao. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Because we were looking at Harry Maguire for like 75, and I was like, don't pay it, and we didn't. So I'm glad.
Right. Yeah.
And hopefully we hold out. I think out of IL would be like a 65. I think 75 was like for the one I saw. So I'm like, I guess we'll see. But
yeah. Anyway, it is what it is.
I think PSG is definitely inflated prices for sure. And then,
but I kind of feel like I said, that it's kind of reverted a little bit back to normal because like the PSG thing, it was like Barcelona now had $250 million to spend, and then Dortmund had $120 million to spend. Liverpool had $150 million to spend. Like it created this snowball effect of everyone in the world knew that they had a war chest of money.
Like PSG still playing youth players in their squad too, like Timothy Way. What's his name?
Rabiot. Rabiot, yeah.
And then, Marquisio's not, obviously not. What was the goalkeeper?
Areola, the French guy, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple guys that were in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really...
And Munir on the right, isn't he a homegrown player for them?
Questionable, maybe. Maybe he came from another Liga side, probably. That's what I'm guessing.
Anyway.
But regardless.
It is what it is.
Interesting topic, or interesting quote to create a topic for us. Hopefully get some more of these interesting quotes. Obviously, Mourinho and Pogba have been going at it this past couple of weeks with their interesting quotes. But regardless, I'm glad that this one overshadowed all the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think he's more butthurt about losing Modric and Ronaldo out of the La Liga. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe like don't tax your players so high, and more people will want to stay.
Exactly. That's been it, ladies and gentlemen. That's been the 6th installment of the Above Ground. Oh, no, Above Ground. Jesus, I'm going ahead into other podcast stuff. Across the Pond. Thank you guys very much. Go ahead and subscribe if you're on the YouTubes to the College Avenue channel. Go ahead and like the video, please. Go ahead and share this with all your invisible friends that like. Oh, that is not a good sign. Regardless, anyways.
That's a lot of red.
No, not the red. It's the middle thing. The end of this podcast is probably going to be just blank screen or like a screen because like the middle, we're already out of memory card.
Oh, yikes.
We did a lot. Regardless, it's okay. It's fine. We'll be able to have enough that, and then there'll be a blank screen. We apologize. I'll put the warning up there. But also, we are available on iTunes and on SoundCloud. You just got to type in College Avenue Podcast, and we're there. We should be there. We're there. Please like us. Please rate us high. Please share us with your friends. And we'll see you guys later. We're the two American boys talk about World Wide World of Soccer. I've been Richard Ridio.
I'm Jacob Wood.
And we'll see you guys next time. See ya.